This is episode 7 of Sports Talk with Chris, a very special episode today because tomorrow is a big day in the world of hockey. It is the NHL draft tomorrow. It's going to be a very exciting day. So today I'm going to give you my predictions of who the top 10 players are going to be in this year's draft. So let's waste no time and get right into it. The first overall pick belongs to the New York Islanders, and they surprisingly won the draft lottery after having just a 3% chance to win. They finished the season with 82 points. They missed the playoffs this past year, and I think that with the first overall pick, the New York Islanders are going to select Matthew Schaefer, a defenseman from the Erie Otters. Matt Schaefer went into the NHL Combine as one of the best skating defensemen that the league has seen in years. Schaefer is a 18-year-old superstar who was actually hurt for most of the season in the Ontario Hockey League for Erie, and he did put up respectable numbers. He put up a point per game. He is a goal-scoring, and he is a great playmaking defenseman as well. And he is going to be a lot of help for the Islanders' aging defense core. We don't know if Noah Dobson is going to be back in the blue and orange next year. Alexander Romanov is working on an extension with the team as well, but they also have some oldies like Ryan Pulock and Adam Pelech. So he will be perfect for that D-core, who has already been pretty solid in the past, but they will probably get even better with the addition of Matt Schaefer. So there I have it. I have the New York Islanders selecting Matt Schaefer. And now the second overall pick belongs to the San Jose Sharks, who last season selected Macklin Celebrini as the first overall pick. And you all know how that turned out. He posted 26 goals and 63 points in his first season of the NHL. Granted, he was playing for a pretty bad team in the Sharks. But this year, I think the Sharks are going to make another addition in the draft to their forward core. They are going to select Michael Misa, who is an 18-year-old from the Saginaw Spirit of the Ontario Hockey League. Michael Misa had an incredible season this year, although he is kind of torn on what he wants to do, on whether he wants to go play in college or whether he wants to go straight to the NHL. Who knows? But whatever he is, he's going to be a solid player. The Sharks already have a pretty solid forward core with Macklin Celebrini, Will Smith, William Eklund. They got Tyler Toffoli out there as well. They also have a very good and very well-rounded top six, very young top six, even though they lost Fabian Zetterlund halfway through last year. But the defense is still very, very bad. It actually gets downright awful defensively, and the goaltending also stinks. But the forward core is going to be very nice in the coming years for the Sharks. The future is teal, everybody. The future is bright. We have, I think, another year of a rebuild in us for next year. The team is still going to be really bad next year, despite the addition of Michael Misa, but I do think he is going to put a bit of a spark in the Sharks, and they will hopefully finish above 60 points, maybe over 25 wins. I think the Sharks next season have a shot to win a few more games than they have in the last couple of years, but they're still not a very good team, especially defensively, but the forwards will be in good shape. They're pretty much set when it comes to forwards. Now, the third overall pick. This is where things get interesting. The Chicago Blackhawks own the third overall pick this year, and I think that they are going to select Anton Frondell. Now, you may be thinking, isn't this where James Higgins comes in? Maybe, maybe not. But I do like Frondell. I think he's a good top six forward addition to an NHL roster. I think he could definitely go straight to the NHL, play a few games in the NHL next year, and if it doesn't really work out, he could always just go straight to Sweden, or he can go for a conditioning assignment for the remainder of the season in Rockford, which is the Blackhawks AAA affiliate. Now, do I think the Blackhawks are going to be good next year? Probably not, but they got a pretty solid forward core with Connor Bedard, and they upped their defense last year by selecting Artem Levshinov, and they've also got some other good young players on their forward core as well. So definitely I think Frondell will be a good piece to that team. Now, the 4th overall pick belongs to the Utah Mammoth. I think the Utah Mammoth are going to select Caleb Desnoyers from, I believe, the Ontario Hockey League. I'm not 100% sure, but yes, Caleb Desnoyers is going to go to the Utah Mammoth. I think he's got a great upside to him. I really do like the way he plays, and I also really do like the way he how he's definitely a goal scorer. He doesn't really get too many assists per year, but I'm really excited to see how he develops in the NHL. Now, the 5th overall pick is owned by the Nashville Predators, who were surprisingly awful last year. Like, they were really, really bad. I think that the Nashville Predators are going to select James Higgins. Yes, James Higgins is going to fall all the way down to number 5 in this year's draft. I think Higgins is a solid prospect. He was really good at Boston College last year as an 18-year-old freshman. I think that he is going to be a really solid player in the NHL. He definitely has elite potential to him, but I just don't think that he is right for the number 1 pick anymore. He was the leading favorite to go number 1 going into this season, but I don't think that is the case anymore. I still think he's a solid player. He's got some solid upside to him, and he's going to be a really good NHL-worthy player. Now, with the 6th overall pick, I have the Philadelphia Flyers selecting Roger McQueen. Now, this is a player who is a little bit more on the inexperienced side for me. I think he's going to have to get some time to develop at the NHL level. I don't necessarily think he is quite ready yet, even though I do have high hopes that he can turn into a really solid player. 7th overall pick belongs to the Boston Bruins, and I see that the Bruins are going to go all out in this year's draft. They are going to select Victor Eklund, 7th overall. I do think this is a good pick for the Boston Bruins. I do think that they are going to be I do think he is going to be a solid two-way forward for the Bruins, and he's definitely going to show a lot of upside when it comes to the Boston Bruins as well. And he is definitely a player. He's a brother of William Eklund, who plays for the San Jose Sharks, and I think he is going to be a perfect pick for Boston. Now let's go on to the 8th overall pick in this year's draft, which is going to be selected by the Seattle Kraken, and I think they are going to select Porter Martone, 8th overall. He's a guy that I had high on my radar at the beginning of the season. I actually thought he was going to be the 2nd overall pick. I have him falling all the way down to number 8. I think he's lost a little bit of his edge, especially this season. I believe he's in the Ontario Hockey League. I could be completely wrong. I'm not very well versed on junior teams. I just know the players. But Porter Martone, he had a pretty decent season in the league that he was in, but I do think that he's lost a little bit of his touch throughout this season. And I think it's going to be a little while for him to develop to become a full-time NHLer, but he could be in the NHL sooner rather than later at this point. Number 9, 9th overall, I have the Buffalo Sabres selecting Jake O'Brien. I think Jake O'Brien has some decent potential to him. I think he is a pretty decent player, especially in the league that he is in. And I think that he's got some good NHL upside to him. I mean, I think he's going to be a very good two-way forward. He's definitely not as much of a goal scorer. He's definitely more of a playmaker, but I think that's what makes him special. So lastly, the 10th overall pick, I have the Anaheim Ducks selecting Carter Bear. I think Carter Bear is going to go 10th overall. He is a lot higher on my list than I originally had him at the beginning of the year, but I do definitely think that Carter Bear is going to be a perfect fit for the Anaheim Ducks, a team that is definitely on the rise after last season, where they were, I believe, still a bottom 10 team, but they finished outside the bottom 5, which is really, really good and very impressive, judging on how the Ducks have been absolutely terrible for the last 5 or 6 years. I think they're now finally getting out of that funk. So that is going to do it for Sports Talk with Chris for the NHL Draft Special. I am super excited to go to the draft party in San Jose tomorrow. Going to be hanging out with a lot of the Sharks faithful, and I will be doing shorts for the YouTube channel. So look forward to seeing that very soon. And please like this video, subscribe to my channel, and keep watching and talking about sports.